Good morning and welcome to the Morning Espresso by the Indian Express. My name is Rahil Philippos and let's get you started with the day's big story. The India Meteorological Department has predicted a normal monsoon this year in its first long-range forecast. The rainfall is expected to be normal or above normal in most parts of the country except in the northeast, Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. The onset of the southwest monsoon over Kerala remains June 1st, IMD officials have said. Next up are our stories exclusive to the Indian Express. India's prized agreement with Sri Lanka for the joint development of the Trincomalee oil tank farm signed earlier this year after a 35-year wait may take years to turn around at least $100 million. However, the deal for 85 decrepit oil tanks in 850 acres of dense forest and a strategic natural harbour could one day be key to Sri Lanka's energy security while giving India additional capacity for reserves. And now for our stories from the front page. 2 days after he was named and accused in a case registered over the unnatural death of a civil contractor, Karnataka Minister K.S. Ishwarappa announced that he would resign from the state cabinet on Friday. While the minister said he was quitting to prevent embarrassment to the BJP, Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai asserted that there was no pressure from the party high command and Ishwarappa had decided to resign of his own volition. Inaugurating the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that every government, every Prime Minister of independent India has contributed to nation building, taking the country to the heights where it is today. He said, barring one or two exceptions and apparent reference to the period of the emergency, the country has a glorious tradition of strengthening democracy in a democratic way. All cooperative banks in Kerala, majority of which are under the Left Democratic Front, reported non-performing assets at the end of December 2021, with the total amounting to as much as 38.3% of the advances. Such a high level of bad loans would have forced the RBI to bring the entity under the prompt corrective action framework applicable to commercial banks, a banking source said. Next up are our must-reads from the day's edition. S.Y. Qureshi writes on hate speech and why it forms the root of many other forms of violence. You can read his opinion on the IndianExpress.com website. The historic Chennakeshava temple in Belur, Karnataka has a unique tradition. Before kicking off their annual Chariot festival, passages are recited from the Quran. Despite opposition from right-wing activists, this year was no different. A Maulvi read out excerpts from the Quran under strict vigil of the district police. Hundreds of people from across the state thronged the Chennakeshava temple to witness the two-day festival. SpiceJet decided to continue training its pilots at a Boeing 737 MAX simulator facility near Delhi, despite knowing that equipment at the said training center was faulty, official sources told the Indian Express. According to a senior DGCA official, during a routine inspection on March 30th, it was found that the simulator had a malfunctioning stick shaker on the co-pilot seat. The DGCA has served a show cause notice to SpiceJet and Canadian training service provider CAE, which manage the simulator facility. While B.R. Ambedkar has always been admired as a national icon and chief draftsman of the Constitution, the renewed rush among parties like the AAP and BJP to claim for themselves the legacy of the man whose 131st birth anniversary was celebrated yesterday can be understood in the context of India's significant Dalit vote that appears now more than ever to be without a natural home. We explain. And finally, Hardik Pandya and Abhinav Manohar dragged Gujarat Titans to 192 after another indifferent start, and Lockie Ferguson's slower Yorker limited Jos Buttler's blitz to power play as Rajasthan Royals fell short by 37 runs. And that's all for today's Morning Espresso. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the Indian Express's YouTube channel for the latest news updates.